These people who have the perspective that over half of America voted for someone who wants to kill women and poor people and minorities. Trusted by the media, quoted by the media, trusted by the police, quoted by the RCMP, and trusted and quoted by politicians. These are the hate experts.
If we have government controlling speech, we're in trouble.
More power to intimidate, to lock up, to silence.
The most totalitarian bill I've ever seen.
SaveFreeSpeech.ca.
And speaking of which, we are going to react to a tweet from the Canadian Anti-Hate Network, just to kind of show you how insane and unhinged these people are. Justin Trudeau tweeted, "Congratulations to Donald Trump on being elected president of the United States. The friendship between Canada and the U.S., blah, blah, blah," some other political statement that politicians do. And the real Canadian Anti-Hate Network said this. This isn't a parody account. This is the real Canadian Anti-Hate Network. They said, "Shameful. This is not politics as normal, and you do not have to congratulate a fascist whose party and policies will kill women, lower income Americans, and scapegoat marginalized groups." Wow. This is how biased the Canadian Anti-Hate Network is. They think that over half of America who voted for Donald J. Trump, they think that over half of America wants to kill women and poor people. Do you know how radical of a perspective on the world that is? These are the people who are the hate experts in Canada that get quoted in the mainstream media. They get trusted by the police. At one point, I believe, by the RCMP and CSIS. That's suspect. These people who have the perspective that over half of America voted for someone who wants to kill women and poor people and minorities, basically. Trusted by the media, quoted by the media, trusted by the police, quoted by the RCMP, and trusted and quoted by politicians. These are the hate experts. They're absolutely unhinged and neurotic. It's absolutely insane. But obviously we called it out on the Save Free Speech Twitter. If you want to follow us, it's SFS Canada. Saying the Canadian Anti-Hate Network is biased would be an understatement. Here they are calling a democratically elected president a fascist whose party and policies will kill women. Verbatim. Politicians, police, and media in Canada recognize this group as hate experts. And this anti-hate group is behind Arif Farhani's Bill C-63, the Online Harms Act. This is why we're saying Bill C-63 would be the end of free speech in Canada. Because the people who helped craft this bill and might even be employed on the official online board, what is it, the Digital Safety Commission? If God forbid Bill C-63 were to pass, they would have a Digital Safety Commission who would determine if the content is harmful or not. They'd probably be anti-hate people, or at the very least anti-hate Antifa aligned people. Do you think they're going to be fair? Do you think they're not going to exercise their extreme radical political bias like they are here, saying that everyone who voted for Trump is a fascist and wants to kill women? There's absolutely the bias is crazy. The bias is insane. And it's exactly what we need to fight against in this country, by the way, which is a reason, if you watch my content, you've probably seen me criticize Pierre Poilievre a lot. And this is why, because I really don't feel like he's pushing back against this bias. Every complaint, everything going wrong is just Trudeau bad. Well, it's not just Trudeau. It's not just Trudeau. It's organizations like the Canadian Anti-Hate Network. It's all the politicians that agree with and co-sign the Canadian Anti-Hate Network, which is also connected to lobbying groups that is in the pockets or in the back pockets of our politicians. Of our Conservative Party politicians. So this is a problem that's much bigger than just kind of stopping Trudeau. It's a lot bigger than that. There's a lot to turning this country around. And with SaveFreeSpeech.ca, we essentially have two things in mind. There's two goals that we have. Number one is to stop Bill C-63, to expose the Online Harms Act for what it really is, which is taking away freedom of speech in Canada. That's goal number one. Goal number two is exposing these far left ideologues, these Antifa aligned journalists who basically enforce cancel culture. They enforce right wingers getting their reputations smeared. These are the hate experts in Canada, and they're totally unhinged and no one seems to call them out. There's a lot of right-wing people who know about these groups and these people, but in this documentary, we are going to expose them. We're going to air out their dirty laundry and say, you should not take this group seriously. They're an absolute joke. And especially if you're more right-wing, you should not be intimidated. You should be emboldened. And we need to start fighting back against these people. And again, if you want to support, please go to givesendgo.com/savefreespeech to support the documentary.
Save free speech.
Save free speech.
SaveFreeSpeech.ca, that's the place to go.
And I think something happens to your brain when you've been in Ottawa for too long.
I don't know what it means to be incarcerated for what you believe.
Things are not going to change unless we change them.